we are going to be doing this evening is aligning ourselves with the possibilities of next year, right? Bringing some completion to what has been occurring this year, right? So that none of us are carrying blame, shame, frustration, worthiness, challenges with us as we move into 2022. Now, there's been some whispering in the unseen about what's possible for 2020. There's always unlimited possibility, always. We don't always feel it in our lives, but the truth is it exists for each and every one of us every single breath that we take. And we can make different choices for ourselves, for our lives, each and every day. And sometimes letting go at a soul level, because that's really where this journey is taking place, is at the soul level. It was decided that, I'm gonna stay for a while. And so we get to make choices, and then we must remember that our soul is the driver behind everything, right? Our soul is the driver. And when we are in alignment with that aspect of ourself, our Christed God I am presence, then we have everything we need. We don't have to worry about how to get from here to there, because everything will be provided. It will all be taken care of, right?
Right. And the core emphasis, what we're sharing with you tonight, imparting upon you tonight, is that honoring your soul path as your unique individual journey is what 2022 is all about. As each and every one of you steps into your Christ light, and some of that will be done this evening to embody a bit more of it, you're going to be invited to reunite with that aspect of you that continues to call you forth, that soul presence. And this week in particular, why we chose Monday is because this week between the solstice and the new year is a vitally important week to slow down, get quiet. Tonight will just be a tipping off point, a stepping off point, to encourage you to spend some time in going into the dark, going into the deepness, going into the roots of your idea and your plan. You're being readied for next year. But if we rush into next year without any pause or any opportunity to get still and quiet, to hear those whispers, we miss them. We miss some really essential pieces that are important to have that enlightened soul journey arrive on your doorstep come January. So that's what we're inviting you to do tonight, to take a moment of peace and quiet, tap in and really tune in and listen to what is being called forth in you from Spirit. This next year is about your life being in service to Spirit, God, the universal wisdom, whatever you choose to call it.
Right. And every single one of you have all the tools that you need. You have all the tools already, and I'm going to ask you to just take that understanding out of the head and into the heart and into your knowing centers, because there's a lot of you that worry that you don't have what it takes to do Spirit's work, or you find yourself confused. And I'm going to encourage you to remember that you do have the tools that you need to accomplish everything that spirit is putting in front of you, right? It's all right there in your toolkit.
And at the same time, you're going to be gently nudged and encouraged to shift out of old patterns. You're going to be asked to transmute some ways of being, some old things that, as Wendy presenced us to just a moment ago, are going to be useless. They won't be useful for you where you're going. This is the handing it over, the head to your heart, trusting that your soul really does have your best interests. You're always on your soul path, but we do take detours. You know, we do tend to put distractions in our way. So the invitation for tonight is truly one of the heart and from spirit to make good use of this week. Find some quiet time. Close your eyes and drop down inside into that silent well within. That's where everything resides, the answers for your life, the answers you need to get you where you want to go. It's all there for you if you just get quiet enough to listen.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So the first thing we're going to work with you tonight on is to move you into that letting go. And that idea that there's a tendency that we all have that we don't like to spend a lot of time in that letting go. We forget the importance of the honoring of endings, the cycles that we all go through. And tonight, our first part, we're going to split it in two a little bit, is the acknowledgement of the importance of completion. When you truly take the time to honor that which you're completing, to compost it, you know, we're calling excavating and then composting, is you leave space and more room for more of the light to enter in come the new year and come the light of the dawn. And we understand it's not always easy to do this letting go. But there is an accumulation that occurs if the letting go is not done regularly. And that regularly is really entirely up to you. It depends on how much interference and distraction and avoidance is in your life. Stress, concern, worry, anxiety, all those components that accumulate. And just like taking a shower or brushing your teeth, we cleanse our clothes, we cleanse our bodies, we cleanse our innards, we cleanse our food. Your spiritual consciousness, your soul awakening needs that same type of cleansing. And at the same time, these cycles exist where we're not always willing to honor and do the completion of the cycle in an honoring and traditional ritualistic way. I mean, think about it. Nature knows the importance of beginnings and endings. It's impossible, ladies and gentlemen, to be in full bloom for 12 months out of a year, going 100 miles an hour every single day, every single week, every single month. So unless each of us, just like a plant, releases its leaves and releases itself, the cleansing, it can't bloom come spring. And so we want to have you think about yourselves tonight in that cyclical version of nature. Before anything can begin again, we must first be willing to end it. So we're going to take some time tonight to reflect on what it is that you're going to surrender. You're going to surrender and compost tonight. We want to explore the ending of this year so that you can invite in 2022 in an all new way. And there's spaciousness and there's a room for things to grow brighter and bigger. The fruits and the flowers of your life. If there's room for those seeds to gestate within you now, they will bloom brighter still come springtime.
So for anyone that has arrived late, please make sure that you have a pen and a piece of paper. A good time to grab it before we move forward. And floor is yours, Connie.
All right. So we were just talking about these cyclical endings. And, you know, the end of a day, the cyclical endings are things like the end of a day, the end of a month, the end of a period of time, the end of a year. Your birthdays are a cyclical ending. There are also other types of endings that aren't so cyclical. They're non-cyclical. They're events that happen in your life that are unexpected. Perhaps the loss of a job or the loss of a relationship. In California in particular, many people have lost their homes to the fires. Just a few weeks ago, the hurricanes wreaked devastation. Those are unexpected, non-cyclical endings where new beginnings have to occur as well. We want to release those things as well. So in our meditation, I want you to trust what resonates with you of what your cyclical and non-cyclical endings and completions need to be in your own life. And that's what will be important. Sometimes, you know, we're often immune to, and we can't even see or acknowledge what is really needing to be composted back to spirit, back to the great intelligence that really runs and operates the universe. And no matter what comes up for you, be willing. Just have a willingness to write it down, to take a look at it, and to see if there's anything there within that that is a deeper understanding, why it happened to you. Perhaps there's a gift or a lesson in that. Wendy and I were speaking earlier today, how oftentimes, just like the shadow, we tend to push it out of our existence, push it out of our conscious awareness. We don't want to look at it. And yet, what's important is to be able to look at it, to walk through it so that we can transmute it. Remember, you being the light, being able to look at it square on, head on, face on, and acknowledge and recognize it for what it is and bless it and move through it. That is letting go. Ignoring, denying, or resisting it is not letting it go. That's not the composting process. And some of the questions that we'll be asking ourselves within this is, who will I be without this in my life? How will it change me? How does it affect me? And we as human beings often resist that change. So again, inviting you tonight to begin the gentle process of letting it go so that change, this metamorphosis, this spirit in you can become more enlivened. We're going to loosen our grip and let spirit just carry us forward tonight. So if you're ready, I'm going to invite everybody to just begin to take put everything out of your hands. Just go ahead and begin to take a few slow, deep breaths. And if you can, allow yourself to just begin to enter into your heart space. Create the intention, beloveds, to truly acknowledge and honor the endings, the completions that need to occur for 2021 in your lives. We often fail to recognize or realize how important it is to cast the husk off of the seed so that the seed can grow more strongly. And so just think of yourselves as buried or burrowed beneath the ground right now. Yourself as a whole. And we're just going to go deep. Allow yourself to invite in faith as you surrender to the knowing that what's in store for you is far greater than anything you can know or imagine sitting here right now in this seat. This is a very tender, special time in each of your lives. Just acknowledge that. We're also going to ask that you invite in the aspect and the quality of courage. Courage, beloveds, to release all of your leaves, just like in nature, all of your have-tos. Imagine yourself as a great and mighty tree. The winter cold, you're going to relinquish all of those leaves that remain hanging on those branches. Find yourself honoring the ending, the bareness, the freedom that comes with letting each and every leaf go. Just take a breath. Breathe in slowly and deeply, knowing that you're anchored, you're well protected. Feel the presence of your guidance as it moves into your space to be with you during this time. Allowing spirit and guidance to even hold your hand as you begin this process. I want you to imagine that what stands before you are doors or a gateway, however you wish to see it, as a door or a gateway. These are the doors to 2021 that you're going to be walking through and leaving. And as you do this, as you enter through these doorways, you're going to enter into a room where there is a large screen in front of you, or a chalkboard or something that you can write upon. And as you stand before that chalkboard or that big screen in front of you, we're going to look at this year as you're crossing this threshold of 2021 into the new year. Begin to reflect upon this year and all that it has meant to you. Or perhaps you would like to go back 2 years. These last 2 years have been an extraordinary challenge for many of you. Begin to reflect upon how you have changed. All that has occurred in these 2 years, or this last year in particular. The things in your life have brought up change and resistance. Just begin to trust the process as you begin to ask yourself, what is it that you are willing and needing to change and let go of tonight? Just tuning in to 2021 and all the ways that you've changed, and you're seeing now things you need to let go of, move out of your space. Maybe you'd like to consider it month by month. Go through each month, January, February, or perhaps you'd like to do it seasonally, winter, spring, summer, fall. I'm going to give you a few moments to ask yourself, your soul inquiry. What really happened in 2021 that I'm needing to let go of, relinquish, release? What are the leaves that need to fall away so that I may sprout new life next year? Just take a breath. Do not overthink it. Just go through your inventory as you release one by one whatever comes into your consciousness, whatever spirit points out to you. The honoring each piece as you lay it down. And as you feel ready, you can begin to open your eyes and pick up your pencils and pens and begin to write these things that need to be let go of. For writing is the alchemy. It's a tool of transmutation and transformation. What was the biggest lesson of 2021 for you? What are some behaviors that you wish to continue or stop doing this year before you head into the new? Just lean into all that is needing your attention in this moment of 2021. Just go way back to the beginning, like an inventory. Thoughts, beliefs, habits, addictions, grudges and resentments. This is a clearing out, beloveds, a clearing out, an opportunity to clear the clutter. I'm going to put some music, soft music on while you continue just for a few more minutes. Allow yourself to go as deeply as you can. This is an important piece. Go back through each month or each season, however it is preferred by you. Perhaps it was a cyclical event, a non-cyclical event. And letting go. Tune in. What's calling your attention? Pick that leaf off of that tree and lay it down. This is the time to not censor yourself, to allow, release, release, release. It's also a time for personal acknowledgement, for you to also determine what you are grateful for, what you are proud of, your accomplishments. That too clutters the space. order to have more goodness and grace, to make room for the more of 2022, we want to move some of that out as well. So write it all down. If it brings a smile to your face, brings joy to your heart, what are you most proud of this last year? Perhaps a dream came true. And if you feel stuck, just take a breath, close your eyes, breathe into your heart space, and ask God, Spirit, Soul, to point something out to you. What was the best moment of 2021? What was the most difficult? What was your greatest lesson of 2021? Go deep with this one. Ask and you shall receive. Is there anything in 2021 that you need to celebrate between now and the closing of this year? Something that needs to be acknowledged. And what is not working anymore in your life? What are you seeing that you want to let go of? It's not working in your life anymore. All right. So my favorite is, if you were to choose one word, everyone close your eyes just for a moment. Hold your pen or put it down, but close your eyes and think of one word or phrase that captures or represents 2021 for you. A word or phrase. Imagine you're writing the most beautiful book about your life. 2021 is a chapter in that book. What would its title be? And when you receive that, go ahead and write that down too. We'll spend one more minute in our period of reflection and time. Know that this is just the beginning of your list. You can work on it all week or another day or so. But as you finish up the accomplishments, the setbacks, the achievements, the discouraging things, write it all down. You want to empty, come into the new year and be there standing on the threshold of December 31 as an empty vessel, ready to receive all the light and goodness that this new year is bringing you. And as you finish up your list, if you open your eyes, take a look at your list, and just begin to say thank you as you scan your list, as you review it and just take in mental notes of the extent, of the shortness, the brevity of your list, or the lengthiness of your list. It matters not. Just review it in your own mind's eye, in your consciousness. And I want you to place your hands in front of your heart and say, thank you, thank you, thank you, 2021, for all that you gave me, all that this year has meant. And over time, this week, you may want to go through each item on your list and thank it individually. But just imagine each item on your list as it touches your heart, illuminates your heart space, and bring gratitude to every single item upon your list. And go ahead and begin to take another few slow, deep breaths. We're going to complete this piece for the evening, knowing that it is never really complete. You can continue to work on it. But the more you allow yourself to empty out, relinquish, surrender, let go of, dropping your leaves to the ground and letting them compost into Mother Nature, into Earth, into Gaia, the more free and the more abundance that will arrive for you come the new year. All right. If everyone's feeling complete with this right now, go ahead and come on back. Just know this is your sacred list for you to do with as you will. And we will give you some suggestions at the end of this of what you can do with your lists come